Hi, Sharina here from Sassy Seamstress, and today I wanted to go over the makeup I did for my recent cross-gender darkness costume. Okay, so starting out, before you even start doing your latex, if you are going to wear contacts, make sure you put them in first before you even start doing anything else. Like before your makeup, before anything, put in your contacts. If you are adjusting your eyebrows, like what I had to do for my makeup, make sure you do that also beforehand. And if you want a smoother look, you might even want to put on a foundation before you do your liquid latex. So for the makeup, I essentially used liquid latex and black oil-based eyeliner, actually, for the most part. Okay, so talking about the products that I used, I actually decided to go with this. It is Liquid Latex Fashions, and I decided to go with this because it actually is one of the few that's ammonia-free. Now, it still does have an odor to it, but it is nowhere near as eye-stinging as some of the other products that I've tried out in the past. So it also comes with these three little guys. Let me see if I can hold them up so you can actually see them. So you have a body prep, a body sealant, and body cleaner. And so the body prep is probably the most important of the three. It creates a barrier between your skin and the latex. The sealer does exactly what it says. It creates a chemical reaction which causes the latex not to stick to itself, which is very important. And then you have the cleaner, which is what it implies. It helps you clean it off. Now, a very important extra product that I found is this little bottle of baby powder. The sealant helps, but you'll find actually after a while that it'll end up sticking to itself. So I got so frustrated and I went on some forums and looked it up, and a lot of people actually say that this might actually be more important than the sealant. And it just creates an extra barrier between the latex, so it doesn't actually stick to itself when you start moving around. So just to illustrate this point, this arm I did, and it only has the sealant on it, and as you can see, just even over time, it'll still start sticking to itself. And so in your joints, whenever you open, you're going to start getting these holes. Now in comparison, this one has the sealant, and then I just use baby powder brushed on top, and this one, you know, I can move any of my joints and I'm not going to get the holes and it's sticking to itself. Now during the removal process, trust me when I say you're really going to want that skin prep. Because all you have to do is just grab it and pull it off like that. And let me tell you, if you have any sensitive areas, skin, tiny hairs, this stuff will find it and it will pull, and it's definitely not nice if you don't have the skin prep. With the skin prep, it usually pulls off just fine. You might find some areas that are a little bit more tender. You might, like, if you get it around your hairline here, a great way to get it off is just jump in the shower, use some conditioner, or if you actually have the cleaning, the skin cleaner, that also works pretty well. So otherwise you just kind of grab it and pull it off, and it comes off pretty clean. Now, when actually applying the latex, you can go with brushes or big sponges or like the little foam brush stuff that you can get. I actually just went with the cosmetic wedges. They're really cheap for a pack of these, and I go through quite a bit of them. Like I'll use one for the prep, one for the sealant, and one for the actual latex itself. The latex actually also, as you're starting to apply it, the jar itself will start drying a little bit, so you need to be aware of the edges, because it'll then start sticking, like your little foam wedge with the latex on it might actually start sticking to the side of it and pull off your latex, and it'll make a big mess. And speaking of messes, I recommend doing this in a bathroom. Either wearing clothes that you don't care about, because inevitably you will get a drop on your clothes and it's near impossible to get out. Now, in a bathroom setting, or if you want to lay down a tarp in a bedroom, something like that, it does come up like it'll come off once it's dried. That's the great thing about latex actually, is that it'll peel right off. Now, in regards to brushes, I actually highly recommend not to use brushes unless it's a throwaway brush and you really don't care about it, because you're not going to get the latex out. Cleaning that stuff is pretty much not worth your time. So that's why I definitely recommend going with the wedges. They're easy, they're cheap, and I just throw them away when I'm done. Now, when you're applying the liquid latex, you're probably going to need several coats. In fact, I would recommend 4 or more coats to make sure that you actually get an even coat, an even coating across your skin. Otherwise, you're probably going to get streaks. And you'll also, because your skin moves, and liquid latex is a little bit more of a stable layer, you might find that you're getting wrinkles in with the liquid latex. And the only thing that I've really found at the moment that kind of negates that is just more layers. So it's up to you on how thick you want your liquid latex coating, but I definitely recommend doing at least 4 coats. Also keep in mind that liquid latex is clear unless you alter the latex. So any if you have tattoos, or for instance, I had to cover up my eyebrows, freckles, anything like that, you're still going to be able to see them through the latex. So if there's anything that you don't want showing, you're going to need to cover that up before you apply your liquid latex. Now, to do a huge piece like what I had to do, which was both my arms, my chest, my back, and my face, it's going to take several hours. In fact, I think for me it took about 3 hours just to do that much of me. And I actually ended up enlisting some help from my boyfriend to help me kind of get through the rest of it. And a really helpful tool is a hair dryer. It definitely helps you get through each layer, because each layer needs to dry first before you apply the next layer. Otherwise you can start getting like bubbles and it'll start peeling away. And you also want to make sure that before you do your sealant or before you apply your powder that it is actually dry. Otherwise you'll, for instance with the red stuff, the areas that are still a little wet turn almost pink instead of the nice deep red that I wanted for the devil look. Okay, so just want to talk about safety really quick with liquid latex. Please, please, please try out a small piece. Usually like an arm is a great place to try it out, just to make sure that you don't actually have a liquid latex allergy, because that would be horrible to get a huge portion of yourself painted and end up having anaphylactic shock because of it, or breaking out in hives. So definitely try out a small area if you've never really had any exposure to liquid latex, or any latex for that matter. Also, liquid latex is relatively safe otherwise. You can paint your entire body, you're not going to suffocate, you're not going to have any respiration problems, unless of course you have an allergy reaction to it. So there is some myths about that idea of if you're fully, covered, you need to leave a small patch open, otherwise you'll end up suffocating. That's not true. Liquid latex is breathable, so you don't have to worry about that. Also, you can apply it, to your mouth, like around your mouth. It's not going to poison you or anything like that. And you can get pretty close to your eyes. Obviously, now if it gets in your mouth or if it gets in your eyes, you're going to want to flush it out. And especially if it's a serious, large amount, you might want to seek medical attention for that. But otherwise, those are very extreme situations, and liquid latex is actually very safe. So I hope that this was helpful. I know I had a lot of questions when I was first beginning to work with liquid latex, and it took me a long time to kind of, through trial and error and hunting through forums, on figuring out some of these answers. So if you do have any other questions, feel free to ask, put them in the comments, or you can email me at sassy.seamstress@gmail.com. And please check out some of my other tutorials on actually how I did all the costuming and made this look.